this live stream. If I got a different look than normal, that's because I'm wearing my glasses. Shave my beard, got a haircut. But I don't normally wear glasses. I don't like to wear glasses. But I got a bad ear infection last week, and it made my eyes red and puffy, and it made my contacts really hurt. So that's why I'm wearing my glasses and got a different look than normal. So what we're doing today is March 24th. Our videos normally run 2 to 3 weeks behind. It just takes me that long to get them out. We stay pretty busy this time of year. About the only down month we really have is like December and the first part of January. But thought I'd bring you along today and get y'all guys caught up. Let me get my chats visible where I can see all of y'all. But maybe get y'all caught up on what we've been doing the past couple of weeks. Bring you in and let y'all see some upcoming future videos. And just what we got going on. It's a rainy, miserable day here in West Tennessee. We got Mr. Greg Rhodes with us. Got Grayson with us. It must be after 3 o'clock because he's out of school. Got Bubba Pitts with us. It's a rainy, miserable day, ain't it, Bubba? Professor Joyce, I like that. Yeah, I was saying earlier in the video that this is something y'all have never got to see me wear my glasses. I absolutely hate my glasses, but I had a bad ear infection last week, and it made my eyes my eyes was really red and puffy and sore. So I took my contacts out. So it's been 2 or 3 days since I've wore my contacts, but I'm starting to feel well enough again that I can wear my contacts. Look, it's been pouring rain all day, and the sunshine is coming through the window right now. It's probably heating things up to get them nighters going later tonight. We got a risk of tornadoes and stuff later on this afternoon, and I absolutely hate them things. Grayson says, didn't have school today. I forgot that there's a lot of people on spring break this year. Got Colin Edelman with us. Glad to have you with us, man. And Jim Summers. Sun shining and near 80 degrees in Middle Tennessee. Well, you might not get this weather we've been having. It's kind of tracking to the northeast, kind of going up right beside us through the north to the northeast. Bubba's been going through the meters on his corn planters in the shop and tired of sharp, ready to start burn down. I'm ready to start burn down too, but we can't seem to quit spraying wheat. I've lost track of how many times we've been over wheat this spring. Way too many. Uh, so, purpose of this video is bring y'all along, get y'all up on what we've been doing. Bubba mentioned that he was working on his planter. Well, we had some planter parts come in today. I'm going to flip you around here and let y'all see them. This is something a friend recommended. He grows some pretty big yields on corn, and he highly recommended these. These are new parallel arms for my planter. These are Precision Planting Solutions. I bought these from SI Distributing. Let me take you back here to our planter and kind of show you what we got. You know, y'all seen us work on the planter a lot this fall. I mean this winter. I'm a big believer in having your planter in tip-top shape. Well, you know, you saw Robert replacing these bushings in the tail wheels where we have no slack. Well, I had a buddy come by and, you know, we looked over my planter here, and I knew I had some wear in these bushings. And these bushings really don't have that many acres on them. But where the biggest wear is in the arms. Y'all, I'm gonna try to pick up on this. I may not be able to do it and hold the phone. Y'all see how much, especially up there at the top, it's hard to do and film it at the same time, but a lot of slack in these bushings, and that's just something you don't need in the planter. So we bought these arms. They were not cheap. They were $290 a row. But let me try to show y'all how they work here. Gonna be lots of walking back and forth. You got this arm, and the biggest problem with the parallel arms on the John Deere planter was your parallel arms was softer than your bushing steel. So your bushings wore into your arms instead of your bushing wearing. Well, this kit uses a bushing on bushing material. I got one of these open somewhere. Right here. I know this ain't the most exciting stuff, but right here you got your bushing. So you got this pin that holds it in place. So, and I mean, this stuff fits super tight. I mean, I'd probably have to get me but you got this bushing, and it's wearing bushing on bushing instead of the bushing wearing into your parallel arm. And then you got this shoulder bolt, and you drill, they send a bit, you drill out your bracket on your planter, and that shoulder sits in your bracket, and it screws in like this, and then you'll have a jam nut on it. Pretty interesting concept and design. Really wasn't planning on doing this year, but we're just, as y'all seen on the weight, we're trying to take things to the next level. We're trying to make more yield, trying to make put more dollars in their pocket, trying to find that reamer. They saying it's not a drill bit, they call it a reamer. And this kit right here is to actually do the I'm gonna set y'all down a minute. With me, I kind of got over on the wrong thing. All right, let me see if I can get caught up in comments. Y'all still with me? My camera got off on something different. I hope y'all are still with me. Let me know. Did y'all catch all that? Okay. All right, still with me. Still with me. Okay. Griggs Farms LLC ain't here. It is here. What's up, Matt? Uh-oh, Grayson knows Mason Pitts. But yeah, got new arms, bushings for this. So the planter project continues. It's the never-ending project. It's the never-ending project. Reckon you think I got enough hoses and wires and accessories? Matt says he's just putting that old hunk of green paint back together. Have you run it anymore, Matt? I'm just anxious to know if what we did yesterday is still working. But I love my old green paint, as you can tell. Got a lot of it. I hate it, but our other 2 tractors are actually out in the field. I couldn't kind of help it, but they got caught out in the field. One with the dirt pan, one with the box blade. So it's, I need some cable management. Well, we're working on that. This isn't a finished project yet. We hadn't got all our cables tied up from where we put this, from where we put the Field IQ system on, but I did make a snazzy little bracket to hold all the hoses and stuff in the middle to keep them from getting any quick hitch and stuff like that. I keep a lot of the electrical components. I bought these boxes, watertight boxes, so they stay in there. But let me show you. I don't know if y'all seen the finished product on the roll clutches yet. That's in a upcoming video. That's in an upcoming video and we'll also sorry, I got to reading some comments and got sidetracked, but there's my Field IQ modules. Got them mounted up. Got them wires somewhat tied up. Got the drill back here tucked in, silently waiting for springtime. Matt, you was talking about going to need that planter next week. I think it's going to be slightly wet next week. I don't think we'll make it to the cornfield next week. We are actually towing. Y'all may think we're crazy, but we got some old super tough hill farms we're thinking about. We got some super tough hill farms. We are actually thinking about planting a few beans before we start planting corn this year. Maybe planting a few beans first week of April on them old tough hill farms. Just give them more time to harvest more sunlight. Give them more time to suck up more water and nutrients, and just playing around with it. We had some old tough ground a couple years ago. We planted some April soybeans on, and on that farm, they made the best beans we ever made on that farm, planted in April. So, trying some new things this year. Trying to do a better job farming and do a better job with everything. Our old drill, it likes just a couple of things. Mainly, we had some hose clamps break. See that hose dangling, not on the seed tube. We need to mostly just put a couple of hose clamps on, and this thing is supposed to be about ready to roll. I mean, new main opener pins and bushings, new gauge wheels, closing wheels, new seed tabs in the seed boots. If it needed it, it got it. Pretty much the same with this planter. If it needed it, it got it. But I know there's 22 of you guys in here. If you don't mind, give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out, helps the channel, helps promote it. So if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. I know I'm just kind of showing you around. I'm just kind of showing you around right now, but just let me know if you have any questions. Let's see, we got Lee Brown in Northeast Arkansas. It's so wet in Northeast Arkansas, he organized his boat bin yesterday. Well, man, I can understand the feeling. Man, we have spent so much money the past week, it's not even funny. I spent, just today, I ordered a new final drive for our Trackhoe, and if it stopped raining, we'll go down there and look at it. But I ordered a new final drive for my Trackhoe. That was $4,000. They informed me that I will have to make new hydraulic lines going to that final drive because the old part number is non-existent and it's subbed to a new part number, and the hydraulic fittings are different. So I had to make new hydraulic lines or buy adapters. That's yet to be seen on what we'll need. $4,000 on that. Another $2,900 on planter parts. And then $2,500 on the old combine here, single point hookup. Let's take a look at this single point hookup. So right here on the, this is our 9400 combine, and the reason we're putting a single point hookup on it is right here on our old honeybee draper that we recently bought. Here's a single point hookup to hook to, which this is just a plate that it mounts to, but here's our single point. You know, those are hydraulic fittings and electrical connections. Well, our old combine is what's called a multi-point. That's kind of creepy, I ain't gonna lie. Might have a ghost in here. Look at that. This single point's supposed to be just so easy. All right, get in there where you're supposed to live. What in the world? There we go. Wasn't holding my mouth right. But we bought this honeybee draper last year, or not last year, this spring, and we've yet to hook it to our combine. But we got the parts in here to hook it to our combine. We got the adapter for the PTO shaft, single point hookup. How the single point hookup will go in here. Now I gotta walk around this shield that fell down. It's hard to see because it's dark. There's some T's in here that go right here, and they'll tie into these 5 lines right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll tee into the line and come down here to the single point. And one actually cool aspect of that is that we will be able to hook on to a multi-point header. You see we got 2 or 3 hydraulic lines over here, and there's about 3 over there, I think. But we will actually be able to tie onto a multi-point or a single point hookup header the way Lancoda has this single point hookup designed. That's just a cover to keep dirt and debris out. Here's the actual valve. Here's the T's to tee into the lines. There's your hoses. Brackets, the bracket will bolt right here on the feeder house, and that'll hold the single point hookup. So looking forward to that. We got to get that on. Of course, well, let's walk over here. There's another thing that, another big project we got to do on the combine. I don't know if we'll get it done before we harvest wheat or not. I'd really like to, but stuff is just gonna have to quit tearing up. We've had a lot of problems this spring, and we ain't even got started yet. Mostly that darn Trackhoe and that final drive. The next video y'all will see will be us moving dirt with a brand new dirt pan. And then the video after that is changing the hydraulic pump in this John Deere 4230. That's why I've got all this old dry on the floor. Changing hydraulic pump, of course, it makes a mess. But getting back to the combine, this big old chunk of steel right here is the concave for our combine. This is what actually does the threshing in your combine. And you see how much meat like we got right here sticking up above this. Well, our old concave is pretty well kind of run smooth. When this edge gets rounded off, it does not thresh the grain the best. It needs that good, straight, sharp edge to help thresh your grain. So we got to get that sucker in there. I don't have my cylinder bars yet, threshing cylinder bars. There's a company called Trimp. I think I pronounced that right. That's who we'll get our threshing cylinder bars for. They're a lot more aggressive bar than what John Deere provides. They're hard surfaced and a lot more aggressive. We've got this. This is actually top feeder house shaft. The sprockets on ours is badly wore. So we got to get that done. Primrose surfactant. We use primrose surfactant. Mostly in burn down applications. When we get in season, we will use what the chemical manufacturer recommends. But as far as burn down, I really like this primrose surfactant. Now look at the draper header. Before we go to rebuilding the combine, we want to put the single point hook up on there and run this draper and see what we got on this draper before we go to tearing the combine down. But let's get back to some questions. Let's see here. Bubba wants to know where Bob is at today. Let's see. I didn't get finished reading it. He needs to make his own spin-off channel. I've actually thought about that that'd be a way for Robert to make some extra income is to have his own YouTube channel. He may surpass us. He may surpass me in viewers if he got his own channel. Everybody really seems to enjoy listening to him and listening to things from his perspective. And a lot of times his perspective is a lot different than mine. We don't always agree. Let's see, but I don't forget where I was talking about. But no, Robert was here most of the day. Actually, we decided to call it early today. It was pouring down rain straight down. He decided to make a run for his truck, and I said, I'm just gonna wait it out. Well, I decided to make this live stream, and 5 minutes into the live stream, it's quit raining, and I could go home. But I enjoy talking to you guys, and y'all can get on these live streams. Y'all can get a sneak peek of what we're doing. We're always behind on our videos. It seems like when we get one project done, two more pop up. So this farm has got to run. I can't just stop and make a video. So that's why the videos always stay behind. But y'all give me some questions. Y'all quiet bunch today. I know I've been doing a lot of talking. Colin Edelman, he said you got to spend money to make money. That is true. You definitely want to make sure your planter is in tip-top shape. But like a buddy of mine said, there's a lot of mistakes you can make, but planting ain't one of them. It's got to be right. We got our seed hoppers right over here. We looked at them. They're in good shape. They just got to be put on the planter. We got our row clutches kind of somewhat dialed in. Look at my poor old sprayer. If you just looking at my sprayer, you think it was muddy as crap where we've been spraying, but it actually hadn't been that bad. It's just, when you make those tracks and make several passes over the field, water starts standing in your tracks, and then you drive through it, and you start driving through them tracks and it splashes that old muddy water up on your machine. Got our stream bars pulled off. We're done putting out nitrogen for the year. We got our third shot of nitrogen on. I did not film that just because of the simple fact I was pushing. Now, we pulled some tissue samples on our weight. I'll go in here and show you them in a minute. We do need to make a boron application to our weight. And that later weight, it needs our early season fungicide on, which is Preexor and Topaz. Kind of running low on Preexor. We're running 2 ounces of Preexor and 2 ounces of Topaz. When I run out of Preexor, I may just switch to 4 ounces of Topaz. That's the program we've run in the past. It's just 4 ounces of Topaz, but we decided to change it up this year. And Preexor is more of a quality product. It's higher, but it's more of a preventative fungicide, where Topaz is more of a curative. And with both of them in there, you know, you're getting 2 modes of action on diseases. But I'm really happy with the old 4630. She's run over a lot of acres already this spring on that darn weight. Matt Griggs said, call him when we start tearing the combine apart. He wants to learn the ins and outs of a conventional combine. Well, I'll let you come on over. We need some good strong backs when we start that. But it is an interesting concept. That I mean, if you've only ever been around a rotary combine, these walker machines are just a totally different beast. On a rotary combine, you know, your threshing cylinder runs this way, and it turns, and it spirals the crop up through the machine. Well, on a conventional combine, a John Deere walker machine, your threshing cylinder is right here. It runs crossways the machine, and it comes straight off the feeder house into the threshing cylinder, and that's where 90% of your threshing is 90% of your separating is done on this combine if you have it set up properly. I think one shining aspect of these combines is they'll chew up a lot tougher crop than a rotary machine. I mean, on a rotary machine, you're shoving that much material and then you're funneling it down into a rotor, whereas this conventional machine, you're threshing the entire width of the feeder house. There's no bottlenecking. That threshing cylinder just grabs it right off the feeder house and goes to immediately threshing it. One, I've never had it happen on me on this combine. Now I had it happen on a 6620. There's a beater behind the threshing cylinder that takes the material off the threshing cylinder and throws it onto the straw walkers. Those can plug. They actually have a kit where you can speed your beater up to run 50% faster than your threshing cylinder. They say it makes it really aggressive feeding, but I've also read negative things about that. You get to spinning that beater faster, you're increasing the potential to have vibrations in your machine. But that beater throws it up here on the straw walkers. That's what this hood on the back is. There's walkers that jump up and they're just constantly cycling. It throws that straw up in the air and allows the grain to fall through. And you got that separating, and then you also have your separating screens, your chaffer and sieves that separate grain out. So If you've never been around a Walker combine before, only been around rotaries, it's I mean, it's a totally different machine than a rotary machine. I like them, I really do. It's been a really good machine for us. Greg said that his dad used to, let me catch your comment, Mr. Greg, didn't mean to miss you. You used to love a rasp bar. Can't remember the company that made them. I bet it's Trimp Manufacturing. They've got a really good reputation. But all right, guys, we may go back in here in the office if y'all ain't got any more questions. Let me sit down. We might take a look at some tissue tests we pulled on our wheat. Got two different types of. One tissue test come from Ray Point Analytical, and the other came from Nutri-Solutions, which is Winfield. If you watch the channel, you know we deal a lot with the co-op system, both Greenpoint Ag and O'Bine Farmers Co-op, and we use a lot of Winfield products on our farm. I feel like they have a lot of generic chemicals, but they put a lot of money and research into things. It's not like you kind of got to be careful with some generics, but I really trust the Winfield brand. Been great products for us over the years. And I mean, we've been using them ever since we started 10 years ago. But another thing over here that before we go into the office and get into that is I had to use this. I had to go down there and take some pictures of my final drive and send to the lady that was trying to source my final drive for me. Really sweet girl. I think she might have been a little sweet on me. She knocked some money off the price on it. We had to change drive sprockets. It used a different drive sprocket. It's the same diameter on the outside, but they changed the bolt pattern. She got that thrown in for free. But Stephanie Lane was her name. You need to give them a thumbs up when you get good customer service. 16.5, 16.1 Firestone 4-rib tires. These are about the biggest front tractor tire they ever made. And these are getting to be a rare bird. They're getting hard to find. I called a lot of places. They didn't have but one. You know, just kind of calling around, checking on prices, and but I went down to Offers Tire, Mr. Wallace down there at Dyer. He's where we get the majority of all our tires from, and I went down there at 8 o'clock this morning. At 8 o'clock that morning, and you know, I was kind of expecting the same answer I got in some other places. At 2 o'clock, he was calling me saying, I've got you 2 Firestone 16.5, 16.1 front tractor tires, quad rib, everything I wanted. Now, I had a little well, I knew what they was going to cost. They was high, but $654 a tire. But that was for a Firestone, and any other comparable tires I found was a Titan, and they was $800 a piece if you could even get them. So 16.5, 16.1s, my Power 4650 is sitting over there in the field on blocks. It looks like it's in the ghetto over there. But don't look at my old dirty floor. It is filthy. We got to get it clean. You got all this dirt on it. Floor's sweating. It's just a nasty, nasty mess. But I was super tickled to find them tires. I about done gave up hope, but expensive, but worth it. Our old tractors, the 4650 when we bought it originally had 14 L's on it. And there's nothing wrong with a 14L front tractor tire, but we bought this dirt pan. We added 6 more weights to the front of the 4650, so it's toting 1,600 pounds of weight on the front. So in perspective, this tractor right here has 1,400 pounds of weight on the front, so 2 more than this tractor. So we need them bigger, wider tires to help hold the front end up in wetter conditions. The more you can spread your weight over the ground, the less compaction issues you will have, less ground pressure. But these tires right here are they're 1100s. So I mean, and they're not no small tire. When they're on the tractor, they don't look that big. But when you get up to side them and get the handle on them and trying to throw them in the back of a pickup truck, yeah, they're a lot bigger than they look. This tractor runs 20.8 38s on the back, so they say tires have gotten outrageously expensive. All our tractors have good tires on them now. We finally got them updated. The worst tires we have is this set of duals right here. They're wore down pretty good. This one's the worst one. You know, we still got some good meat on the insides. This left-hand deal ain't near as bad as the right-hand deal. I don't know if that right-hand side just pulls harder or what, but I'm really glad that we updated tires when we did. I mean, 2 years ago, the Firestone Deep Tread 23-degree tires, it's a radial tire, and I love it. I mean, them suckers will hook up and pull. In my opinion, you cannot beat a Firestone 23-degree tire. That's my favorite tractor tire ever made. We put Alliance on the tractor that we got that's got the blade on it. I mean, they're okay, but them Firestones outpull them every day. In the future, Dylan will spend the extra money for Firestone 23-degree tires. I like them that much better than the Alliance tires we got. So, all right, let me go in here and sit down, quit running my mouth. We'll get caught up on questions. Get in here in the shop office. My shop office, we don't keep the shop office just plumb tidy. Let's see if you can see what a mess my desk is. It's a mess. But let's get caught up on live chats here. Got Kate D, the magical swimmer. Brantley Bailey. Brantley's a longtime viewer of the channel. Asks, how's it going, Dylan? We're doing great. Got Bowers Brothers Farms in here. I'm glad to have you. Welcome to the channel. What's it like farming with your brother? I enjoy farming with my brother. We don't always see eye to eye, but those times are normally few and far between. Normally we're on the same page, and normally we can about read each other's minds and know what the other's thinking before the other one does. Let's look at some more live chats here. Got Michael Wallace. Michael's a longtime viewer of the channel. Says to tell Griggs to go green all the way and not somewhat green. I just tell everybody to do what works for them, man. Cattle in Gleason, Tennessee. Well, you're pretty local to us then. No, we're not far away. Uh, who have you been using to market your cattle? Have you took any cattle over here to Trenton yet? To Clayburgh, Trenton Regional Livestock? If you're in the West Tennessee area and you want, he's having a special cow sale this weekend, cow and calf pairs. And if you're in the West Tennessee area and needing some good quality cows, he's gonna have them. He handpicked. From what my dad told me, my dad works for Clay at the sale barn, helping Clay out. But what from my dad told me that Clay handpicked some really good cattle to be in the sale. So this weekend you can find them on Facebook if you're interested in that sale. Trenton Regional Livestock in Trenton, Tennessee. Clay's a good friend of ours, and I mean we need this barn to do good. We need to keep our local sale barns where we got a place to market our cattle. Let's see. I got a feeling my chats are running behind for some reason, but I'll just read them as I find them. Matt says that's not too far off the cost of a MFWD tractor tire. Man, I thought them MFWD tires done got up there like $1,400-$1,500. I thought they done got bad high. Bubba said, Bubba said they're having an auction at Cairo tomorrow. Lots of cattle stuff in it, but a little bit of everything. Man, I doubt I go to that sale, Bubba. I got too much to do here at the shop. I'm gonna try to put them. I'm gonna try to put them parallel arms on tomorrow, or at least get started on it. We was going to do it today, but we need to move some equipment around, and it was raining straight up and down, and I decided against it. So I'll start on it tomorrow, I guess. As bad as I hate to work on a Saturday, but it's getting to the point we're gonna have to start working Saturdays. It ain't got to the point I'm gonna start working Sundays yet, but that'll be here before you know it. Do y'all have livestock? I do not personally have livestock, but my dad does. My dad backgrounds calves. He buys, 300-pound weaning calves that come through the barn, brings them in, pre-vax them, starts them on feed, and brings them back as value-added cattle. Buyers are willing to pay more for cattle that have been vaccinated, straightened out, and the end buyer doesn't have to do that. All they have to do is bring them in, turn them out on grass, put them on feed or whatever they want to do. But that's what my dad does, is buys a lot of weaning calves and preconditions them. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Preconditioned cattle, ready to go out west or put on grass or whatever the end buyer wants to do. Normally selling at 500 to 600 pounds, straightened out and ready to go. But I used to have some cattle. Every now and then in the winter, I'll run some cattle, but it's been 2 or 3 years since we do that. At one time, I was drilling. Cover crops around here at the shop. I bring my kids in. We'd run 15, 20. I'd bring them in, put them behind hot wire, get them broke to a hot wire. When they got used to that hot wire, I would had that that white poly wire. We would string it out, turn them calves out, let them graze cover crops. I ground feed for them, kept them on feed, kept them on feed and them cover crops. I never fed a bale of hay. You know that worked really well for us. We made some good money on it, but it got to the point with us working more acres and the amount of shop repairs and stuff we do in the winter that I could not manage the cattle the way I wanted to manage them. So we moved on to, we just kind of. The only thing I do now with cattle is I feed out a couple of head of freezer beef calves every year, and we just actually took them to the butcher. I'm more of a hog man. I got a barn. Well, I say a barn full of hogs, but we got I believe 18 head of hogs down in the barn right now. We feed and top out butcher hogs. That's been a way for me to make extra income on the farm. That's my spending money. I call it my folding money. Most everybody pays me in cash. I absolutely love that. So that's it's a good thing for us. It's more of a hobby than anything. I just enjoy. I don't know why, but I really enjoy messing with hogs. I guess part of it goes back to one of my first 4-H project was I done some fed some hogs out and showed in the county fair, and I absolutely loved that. I only done it 1 year, but I had a blast doing those market hogs at the fair, and then we transitioned into showing beef steers at the market steers at the county fair. My granddad over at Frog Jump, we actually row crop that farm now, but he used to have a commercial cow herd, and we showed steers out of that herd. I didn't always win this. I didn't always win the show, but the year I won reserve grand champion at the fair with homegrown cattle, you know, it means a lot more to you when you win it with something you raised on your farm with your genetics versus just going out and buying one just to win. It means a whole lot more to you when you raise something on your farm. Well, let me get caught up on. I saw a couple of comments we've lost. Anyways, I got Mr. Terry Woodrow with us. He says it's soggy in southern Illinois. Man, it's the same way here in West Tennessee. It's a soggy, sloppy, nasty, dreary, messy day. That's the only way I know to put it. It's starting off a awful lot. Well, I can't say that. We had pretty weather starting out last year, and then it turned crappy in April when it was time to plant corn. Uh, but yeah, it's nasty in West Tennessee. Terrible. But Mr. Terry, it was good meeting you at the Farm Machinery Show in Louisville. That was one of the highlights of my trip. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed meeting and talking to everybody around. I enjoyed meeting you, and I'm glad you came up and talked to us. I really am. Let's see here. See, talk to Matt about cover crops. Let's see here. What? My chats keep disappearing on me. What did I plant as a cover crop for grazing? When I done that, when we done that, it was a mixture of cereal rye, oats, crimson clover, and turnips and radishes. That was our mix with little, and I think we had some. No, I take it back. Actually, cereal rye, wheat. The oats never held up well to grazing. If you grazed the oats hard, it would kill them off. But cereal rye, wheat, crimson clover, turnips, and radishes is what we used. And you know, when we was doing that to graze, we would try to get those covers planted as early as possible. You know, which are around the shops where we normally start planting. So we'd have it harvested late September, get them drilled, and we would normally turn them in on them covers around the 1st of November. If I held them off as long as possible to get a lot of growth, but um, if you're going to have him, normally I'd turn them in there when them radishes got a good size on them, because them radishes are going to die when you have a frost. So you need to turn them in there. If you're wanting to get any grazing benefits out of them radishes, you need to turn them in there before frost. I kind of put them on and pull them off back and forth. But I mean, it was that's how that's how we done it with good results. And normally we would pull them off around the end of February, fertilize it, and then we would have time. We would cut that cereal rye for hay before it headed out. And I mean, we was getting when you fertilized it, we was getting a good cutting of hay off of it, even though we had grazed it all winter. So that old cereal rye is about the toughest thing out there is. I hadn't. It can take some punishment. Can take some punishment. Still with me? Did I lose you? Well, let's look around here. Let's see here. Uh, catch up on some. How many minutes am I from Matt Griggs? We are about 35, 40 minutes from Matt. Davis Farm and Orchard. Love watching the old John Deere tractors and the shop repair work. Well, man, you're going to get to see some more of that here. We're going to have, unfortunately, well, we've already got the hydraulic pump replaced in the 4230. We've already got that done, so you'll be seeing that. That'll probably should be Wednesday night. That should be Wednesday night that you see that. Sunday afternoon will be us using the new dirt pan. Think y'all will enjoy that. That's going to be like a 2-part. Well, actually, it'll be a 3-part series. We ain't got part 3 made yet. But, you know, we got one. I got part 1 made. I got enough video footage to make part 2. You get to see us replace a final drive in a Trackhoe. That is one job I am not looking forward to. If we can get the dead gum track split, I think the hardest part of it will be getting the track split. I honestly do. Finding that master pan and getting it knocked out. So that is a new project we have never done. It's going to be a learning experience for me, but I plan on bringing y'all along for it. So y'all will get to see that. And gonna get to see some more shop repair videos when we replace the parallel arms on our planter. And I know you came in toward the end here, but if you'll go back and watch it, I'll show them at the beginning of this live stream and actually talk about a lot of the things we're going to be doing in upcoming videos. Got lots of shop repair videos to watch, and if you don't mind, you know, go back and watch some of our older videos. You can go to my homepage, and you can go to my own homepage and go to playlist and shop work and go back and watch some of our old shop work videos. We've got them where we've split a 4640 in 2, and you may have already seen them, but I just putting that out there for other viewers. you know, y'all going back and watching them old videos does help the channel. Anything you can do, any video you can watch, a thumbs up, a share, a subscribe, it really helps the channel. I don't harp on that a lot, but every now and then I do need to remind people because it does help our channel. And our channel experienced a lot of growth in 22, and I'm wanting to experience even more growth in 23. I really, you know, I want to, you know, the way we do things here is we try to keep things simple. You know, we don't try to be over the top. We try to be down to earth. We try to show the good and the bad. And we don't. I just want to put a video, you know, put content out there that shows people that you don't have to run the newest, shiniest stuff to make a living. That you can take care of this stuff. If you take care of it, it will take care of you and you know do a good job for you. That's kind of stuff I'm trying to promote, which I understand that that's not what gets views. I understand that. Everybody wants to be see the new big shiny stuff and wants to see you spending money. Any video where I buy something does great, and but you know, we try to be financially responsible on this farm. I want this channel to be educational. Maybe you'll learn something. You know, I try to tell you things that's made me money over the years where maybe it might help you make money. So that's how we do things around here. Not always the most popular thing on YouTube, but I want to grow the channel to show other people like that and show other people that if I got the dream to farm, that it can be done like we done it. I mean, how many people get to say they're living their dream? Sometimes it's more like a nightmare, but I am living my dream. All right, let's catch up on live chats here. Uh, Bubba says the sun's back out, so it's headed out to pedal. There's no reason to start something at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, man. There's no reason. Take the afternoon off. Glenn Reinhardt, glad to have you with us, man. Glenn's been with the channel for a long time here, but all right, y'all a quiet bunch today. I will give y'all that. But let's take a look at some. Let's take a look at some tissue samples here on some wheat. Ignore the mess, but this is some tissue samples off a farm we done, and it was. I found it very interesting. This is a tissue sample. It's just like a snapshot of what is going on in the plant at the moment. It's kind of like a soil test, where a soil test shows you what is in the soil. Well, this is showing you what's in the plant. Right now, we are at Feeks 5. We're at Feeks 5, and you know, this is just a snapshot of what is in the plant. We got nitrogen in the plant is sufficient. Sulfur in the plant is sufficient. Phosphorus, you know, potassium is actually up there in the high, which I like to see. And, you know, we're starting to show a little low on magnesium. Calcium levels is where they need to be, but the big one right here is boron. The big one right here is boron. It is low on boron, and we are actually going to be making some boron applications. I've already run it on some of the farm, but we got rained out, and we're also putting a little copper on some of the wheat. But there's actually another field here. Let me see if I can find it that is short on was short on zinc. So what we done on this, and this farm come back a little short on sulfur, nitrogen. And what this was this field here, we was a little lighter. We had another rain event, got rained out, didn't get all our nitrogen out. And this is one of the fields that we was later getting our nitrogen application out. So it's showing lower in sulfur, nitrogen, because it has not had time to uptake that nitrogen into that plant. And this one right here was actually showing low in zinc, low in copper, and very low in boron, which is, not good. Even though we applied those things in the fall, the weather conditions we are having has not been, the weather conditions we've been having has not been conducive to that plant to take up those nutrients. So that farm there, we actually did get it ran, and what we run was 32 ounces of zinc. It's another Winfield product. I know y'all heard me talking about that earlier. 32 ounces of a Maxine ZMB, and that's actually a zinc, manganese, and boron product, but a whole lot heavier on zinc than anything else. We ran 16 ounces of Maxine boron and 6 ounces of Maxine copper. So we addressed all three of those issues with an application. We've done this on a field by field basis. We've got one more field that requires a copper application, but it was good on zinc, so we'll be at 16 ounces of boron on that and 6 ounces of copper. And then we'll go in, and then the rest of our acres just requires a boron application. So that's that's where we're at on that. This is one tool we're using this year. When we get ready to run our fungicide for head scab, we'll come back and pull another tissue sample. We will actually pull our tissue sample at Flagleaf, preparing for our fungicide application at flowering. I like to be at 50% flowering, at least full head. I know Prosaro used to be 50% flowering when you sprayed your fungicide application. We've been spraying Mirvis Ace. They claim to have a wider application window, and I have personally seen that on my farm. I'd rather be on the early side of application as the later side from what I've seen. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're at full head and you're using Mirvis Ace, you should be good to go on spraying for head scab. And that's our biggest robber of yield. Wet weather in the spring and head scab is our biggest robber of yield in wheat in the spring in West Tennessee for us. But let's see if we got any more questions. I think I saw one from Mr. Glenn. He said, we're pretty lucky to get to play with all the classic machines of the 70s. Hope you don't get any storms today. Well, man, we've avoided the storms so far. I really wasn't worried about storms up until this point, but we've done got all this rain event. The sun's coming out and warming stuff up. And normally in West Tennessee, if you got a warm day, you've had a rain, sun comes out, heats things up, that's a recipe for disaster. I hope it don't happen. It seems like West Tennessee in the past 20 years has kind of become Tornado Alley. It's gotten bad, dangerous here in the spring. Tornadoes have gotten awful. We had a bad one just 15 minutes down the road last year. happened on December 10th, my birthday. That's the same one that hit Mayfield. That same one that hit Mayfield, Kentucky. We had a really bad one 15 minutes up the road in 2006. Was a very bad one. So, man, them things have gotten bad, scary around here. There's a lot of people terrified of them, and for good reason. But I need to put in a storm shelter for us just to have a place to go get in safety. Uh, and there's been a lot put in, and storm shelters put in the past 20 years. But see here, we might take a walk outside, go down here, look at the Trackhoe, talk about what's got to be done to it, uh, and y'all shoot me questions while we do that. I'm happy to answer any question you got. I'll answer it to the best of my ability, and if I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know. But really big shop projects coming up. Like I said, got to put those tires on the front of my 4650. It's sitting in the field on blocks. I actually had a blowout on the side of a levee. The tire gave up. I had to limp it up the hill on the rim where I could get the service truck to it. Micronutrient application on the weight. Hydraulic pump's been replaced on the 4230. Another upcoming video replacing the parallel arms on the planter. Another upcoming video replacing, putting single point hookup on the John Deere 9400 combine where we can, let's see what I'm trying to say. Oh, try the new Draper header out. There's the front end loader off the 4230. It's got to go back on there. And look at here, I got to talking to you guys and actually forgot something. My semi truck got caught out in the rain. You know how particular we are about trying to keep things in the dry. Well, we were supposed to get to run Tuesday. We did not get to run Tuesday. So it started raining early that morning. But I was going on and filling the water trailer back up for the next time we get ready to run. And I forgot the water was running and overflowed the tanks there. But I mean, it ain't like this water is going to make it any wetter than what it already is out here. Still loving the new machine shed. That has been a really good investment. I love it. Keeps my hopper bottoms in the dry. Feed meal, bush hog, my camper. Of course, that's the dedicated spot for the water trailer. We got the old Sterling back. As many of y'all know, saw the video where we hauled it into the dealership with my 2021 Chevrolet pickup truck on a gooseneck. I don't know why I wasn't thinking. When we hauled it in, my blue Freightliner up there has got a gooseneck hitch. Why didn't I just hook that gooseneck to my blue Freightliner instead of using my pickup? I don't know, but it made a cool video anyways. I was able to, make a like a rock commercial. If y'all can't tell, I'm almost as dedicated to Chevy trucks as I am John Deere tractors. It's about the Chevy trucks have been about like John Deere tractors. They have been very good to me over the years, so I stick with them. I always tell people, stick with what works. So, but getting back here on the getting back here on the Trackhoe, it's kind of one of them situations. Is, you know, what's not wrong with it? Swing motor seals blowed again. I think a lot of that was my fault. I swung around and hit a tree pretty hard with the bucket. And the reason I swung around and hit the tree, I got to thinking about this final drive going down. This final drive was giving trouble, and I was paying attention to it instead of paying attention to my boom, and I swung around and hit a tree. And I'm pretty sure that's when I blew that seal out of that swing motor. It's filled the gear case up and it's coming out the vent tube. You can see where it's leaked out on the trailer there. And you want to talk about a scary situation. I had to crawl. We didn't film it. I should have. But we was just having a bad day, and when I have bad days, I just don't really film a lot of stuff. But scary situation trying to crawl that Trackhoe up on a trailer with just one track pulling. It is a scary situation. What I had to do actually was, and I was scared to death, I was going to tear my trailer up. But I had to take that bucket and grab right here and take the claw and pull myself, use the turntable to keep it straight, and use that track to pull it up on the trailer. Was a scary situation. So I don't know if I'm going to do it tomorrow or not, but one thing we have got to do before we start this project is got to get all this mud out of these tracks. This track's got to be able to be loose, to be adjusted. I'll have to wash this mud out of here. As you can tell, I got in a mud hole, packed this full of mud, and that's when our track is loose, because you use a grease gun to pump this cylinder to tighten your track up. So got to wash these tracks out. Somewhere in here is a master pan. We've got to find this master pan and knock it out. Well, first we're gonna have to get it off the trailer. That'll be another scary situation. But when you pull this front cover off this front final drive, yeah, it looks like confetti in there. Looks like glitter. And glitter in a final drive is not good, because that is just small pieces of metal in there floating around, eating up gears. And this is actually the second time I've worked on it, is the bad part. Gave trouble, took this out. Front gear set was boogered up. I mean, it wasn't terrible. We took it out, put a good used gear set in from a salvage yard. You know, ring gear had a chip in a spot. You know, we dressed that up, filed it down, made it look pretty, you know, flushed it out good, you know, put diesel in there, rotated the track, you know, trying to wash any metal fragments out, got it flushed out, put that new gear set in there, run it one day, get on it the next morning, go down there, start working on taking a few trees down, doing a little dirt work, and I heard clunk. Well, it went on and rolled and done good and started pulling again. But when I heard it clunk, I knew it was over. You know, got it up there, pulled the cover off. Gears was a little boogered up, and I thought, well, I'll just flush it out. I mean, I knew we was gonna have to have a final drive at that point anyway, so cleaned it back up, put them gears back in there, and you know, we had to get that project we was working on buttoned up before it rained. So run it the way it is, called, got a new final drive ordered. But we got to split this track, find that master pan. We'll swing the bucket around here and pick this side of the machine up, put some 4x4 blocks between these idlers and the track. And we should be able to use our forklift, come around here to this side, and unbolt that final drive, undo our hydraulic lines, and bring this little unit out the side here and bolt the new one on. They've already told us we're going to have to replace the hydraulic lines, that the orientation, that's an old, I mean, this is a 93 model machine, but they consider it obsolete, you know, which is disappointing. I mean, nobody in America, in my opinion, makes things to last anymore. You know, I'm going off the deep end here, but you know, we've become a throwaway society. We don't want to fix nothing. We don't want to fix nothing. Just throw it away. You know, he's like, well, you know, a final drive's gonna cost as much as the machines were. I said, and I shouldn't have been this way, but I was like, well, shit, it ain't worth nothing with the one track not pulling. It sure enough ain't worth nothing. You know, and this was Caterpillar I was on the phone with. They was $7,700 on their final drive. I said, $7,700 is a lot cheaper than going and trading machines, and they ain't gonna give me nothing for my machine because the track is down. Just some people's thinking just does not make sense to me. But we got online, done some searching, and found an aftermarket final drive, $4,000, 2-year warranty. I really want to change both of them. If I hadn't spent so much money on some of these other parts, I would probably replace both of them. But as those of y'all that farm know, you really got to watch your budget farming. You can get your butt in a mess very fast. So, you know, we're just changing one for now. We don't put a lot of hours. I mean, we do put a lot of hours on the machine in a year, but it's not like we're trying to make a living with the thing. So, you know, that's where we're at on the Trackhoe. So, oh man, I know y'all probably think I'm rambling and going on. I saw you in here, Mr. Allen. Sorry I ain't answered you yet. Mr. Allen said that he's got some ground that the December 10th tornado went through and depleted the ground of calcium. Is that right? It scared the ground when it came through and dropped the yield on the beans. Really, I've really never even heard of that. But that is very interesting. It is. Mr. Allen said that splitting the track is the easy part. Red River Hydraulics in Wichita Falls, Texas. I'll have to write that down and check them out. Who I dealt with on this Trackhoe was actually IHM Used Parts, and they're just right up the road in Hickory, Kentucky. You know, about a 1-hour drive from us. And, you know, I thought my glasses is fogging up. I thought, you know, my intentions was to drive up there today and get that final drive. But I called up there and they didn't have one in stock. They were actually getting it from one of their distributors. And at first she said it was going to be out on the west coast was where the final drive was, and I was thinking that freight bill is going to be out of this world. But she got to searching. Her name was Stephanie, and her customer service is excellent. IHM Used Parts, if you are watching. She goes above and beyond uh, on helping the customer. So, but she got that out of Alabama. Got me a new drive sprocket. She said she got it thrown in with the final drive because the outside sprocket diameter is still the same, but the bolt pattern where it bolts to this new final drive is different. So, but guys, I'll stay on here with you about 10-15 minutes if y'all start asking some questions. This can be question and answer time, but I just really don't want to get on here and just make up things to talk about. I like to keep these live streams at a decent length where uh, people can sit down and watch them when they get home if they wasn't able to participate in the live stream. I know a lot of people's at work this time of day, but I had a free moment to do a live stream. I hadn't had a chance to do a lot of live streams lately, so I wanted to do it. I had the chance. Well, he's down here at the shop, so being down here at the shop, it gives me a chance to show y'all a lot of things that I don't normally get to show y'all on a live stream. And hopefully, I got a buddy back there that gave me a hat. So if y'all see that hat with a cotton bowl on it, no, we are not getting in the cotton business. But maybe Matt's talked about it a little bit that he might have found somebody. I know people still interested in merchandise. The shirts like we wear, the Joyce Brothers Farm shirts. He might have been able to find somebody to help us out on that. So I'll if something comes through with that, I will let y'all know. But all right, guys, I'm gonna give y'all about 5 minutes to come in with some questions, and then we're gonna shut her down because I don't know if you can tell or not, my old voice getting a little hoarse on me. I've had that ear infection, and been having a lot of sinus drainage, and it's kind of rough on you. Been kind of rough on me the past week. I actually went to the doctor, and she said, "Dylan, you look awful." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I feel awful." And she's like, "Well, why hadn't you done come seen me?" We got a good little doctor's office up here in town in Dyer, and I said it was dry and pretty. If it's dry and pretty, I cannot stop. We was trying to get that wheat ran. That's all that's been on my mind lately is weight. This year is driving. This weight this year is driving me absolutely bonkers. It is doesn't look to suit me. You can ask Robert. I'm peculiar as crap on this weight. If it just don't look perfect, I'm losing my freaking mind. I've just become so peculiar on this weight, and it does not look to suit me one bit. Uh, but everybody, I hadn't seen anybody that's got any pretty weight this year, but our weight this year is not up to my usual standards. Lee Brown wants to know about our crop mix this year. Well, we are going to be, I think I am actually down a little bit from what we was last year. Uh, we kind of got some farms that, we didn't lose the whole farm, but some of it got taken out to do other things. So we're a little off on our acres this year compared from what we was last year, but right now we are at 376 acres of corn, 475 acres of soybeans, and 210 acres of wheat. we're normally, our rotation, we are normally 40% corn and 60% soybeans. Last year we was not at but 300 acres of corn last year. So we're really diving more heavily into, uh, we're diving really more heavily into corn this year. Uh, Nitrogen prices have really come down from what they were last year. I know last year was a terrible corn year, but we're not going to let that detract us, because normally corn is where I make my money. I can grow a lot better corn than I can soybeans here on my farm. Not, I have a lot more consistent results with corn, whereas beans I can have some wild yield swings with soybeans. So we're going a little heavier on corn this year. I like the only reason I don't get it 50-50 is time management aspect. You can, I mean, corn, there's a lot of bushels to haul, typically longer lines at the elevator. When you get into soybeans, normally the lines at the elevator, at least around here, die down. Now they get bigger down at the river, because the river takes in a lot more soybeans than it does corn. But we can harvest soybeans faster, a little less input cost, and uh, and I just plant wheat. I like it mid-summertime money. Uh, had the most weight I've had in a long time. So I really like wheat. It's a love-hate relationship I have with wheat. It's really a love-hate relationship with wheat. But yep, that's our crop mix this year. All right, you got 3 minutes to get in another question, or we're gonna shut her down. Uh, got 32 in here with us right now. I appreciate each and every one of you watching and spending the afternoon with me. And maybe I didn't bore you to death, and maybe you got a sneak peek into upcoming future videos. If you'd like for us to do more live streams from the shop, kind of like we done today, just let me know. I hope I can do some live streams from the field this year. Typically, all my live streams from the field do really well. Everybody likes the live streams at the field. They get to ask questions about what's going on at the moment. If they have a question about something on the tractor, I can show them that. So live streams from the field is always a really popular thing on my channel. So, but down in the comments below after this live stream ends here, just let me know what you like to say as far as live streams and stuff like that. And with all that being said, I'm going to wind it up. I'm going to go feed the hogs, call it a day, and find my hoodie, because it is getting chilly outside compared to what it was like at the beginning of the day. So, y'all have a good day. I appreciate you watching, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it.